a woman in labor that has an obstetric complication, for example, needs a cesarean section or has a ectopic pregnancy, before you take this lady across the rivers to access the hospital, the person will be a dead one.
Ich freue mich sehr. I'm very happy to have with me Sister Sapientiae from Nigeria of the, let me say it right, Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the Mother of Christ.
Yes.
Die Schwestern von dem unbefleckten Herzen Mariens, der Mutter Christi. Und Sister Sapientiae, you have a really cool name, because Sapientiae is Latin and means wisdom, Weisheit. You're Sister Wisdom. Yeah. I'd like to be Sister Wisdom. I told my colleagues to call me Sister Wisdom, but they won't do it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
How did you become a sister?
All right. From childhood, I really wanted to serve God with my whole person, just totally dedicated to God, just for His love for me. And I joined the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Mother of Christ, from their aspirancy in a juniorate. That's where they train the young girls who would become sisters. And that was years ago, 1994, and in 1974. And the formation went on. By 1982, I was professed. That was, 42 years ago.
Your profession was before my birth.
Yes, exactly.
And yet you look younger than me. That's a little bit unfair.
Thank you for that. Okay. So then after the profession, my congregation sent me to study in Italy, to study, first of all, philosophy at Gregorian University. And then after that, medicine at the Catholic University of Gemelli, Rome. And that's what I did my training as for undergraduate course as medical doctor. And then eventually graduated 30 years ago, 1994. Came back and I went down to Nigeria, worked for 10 years as a medical doctor. As a congregation, our main apostolate are two branches, education and health work. All right, so so I worked for the 10 years, came back and did my specialization as an internal medicine, as an internist in gastroenterology. And that was 2008 I finished.
And where did you do your specialization? Also
in the same university, Gemelli, Rome. Okay. Now, my congregation is...
sorry, so you are a sister, you studied philosophy, and you are a medical doctor.
Yes, my congregation asked me to do that.
Wow.
Thank you.
And are there many medical doctors in your congregation?
Yeah, we are about 22 medical doctors, yes. Yeah.
Because healthcare is part of your
it's
vocation.
Just the main apostolate and then the teaching, teaching apostolate, education, yes.
Can you tell us something about your apostolate and how that works and what you do in your daily life?
Okay, so in our daily lives, so the congregation has about, in Nigeria, we have 6 hospitals.
Your congregation alone has 6 hospitals?
Yeah, 4 major ones and then 2 little ones. Yeah, then we have 2 hospitals in Kenya. Yeah, so that's the apostolate. So our daily work consists, since it is a mission, they are mission hospitals and considered as private hospitals, our daily lives as doctors and nurses is just in the morning you go and you have your clinic. We have clinic every day, and then attend to different types of patients, and then, and they admit them into our hospitals and care for them. Caring for them is not just because it is an apostolate that has, we are participating in the church's mission, the healing mission and the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. which is it's the charity in itself. And we are participating in the charitable work of the church by doing that, attending to the vulnerable. Especially,
because if somebody here hears private hospital, they think private means expensive, it's only for the rich.
No.
But that's not how your hospital works.
No. Take, for example, our father founder in founding us said that the hospitals of the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Mother of Christ, will be the places of charity. That's the Archbishop Charles Siri, CSSP, who founded us in 1937 from Ireland. Okay, so yeah, we do that as a mission. That's what I mean. Why I'm saying that is that as a doctor and as a religious missionary, you know, there is that aspect of the spiritual life of the church, the charity, caring for the needy, and for the vulnerable. That is the main. It is not per se. So when we say mission hospital, it is that aspect of the charity that is very important, and that is why, because these hospitals are in rural areas and semi-urban areas, the hospitals you have. They are not all those ones in the big cities, for example. And therefore, we get to the interior places, the periphery of Pope Francis, and then attend to the people who are really in need of care, especially the women. So because our father founder, our foundation is for the upliftment of women. You know, when he came to mission, our father founder, Charles Hiri, he saw the debased way the women were living. So he took from among these women, some of the women, to get them to attend to the needs of the women. And that's what our work is. So we do a lot for the women and their children. And then actually, you know, when you take a woman, you have taken the whole nation. Okay?
The family, the neighborhood, the nation.
It's the family. The woman is the family. And from there, we get to the husbands, we get to the children, we get to the mothers, we get to the, and so on. That's why our work is diffused into other areas, not just like that. And that's what we do in our medical care, also in education. You know, educating the young ones, the children from up to university level. Okay, so that is it.
So Nigeria is a nation where at the moment there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of Islamist attacks. Is your work dangerous?
Sure. For example, we see like Meduguri, who is that is the seat of the Boko Haram and all the rest. We have mission. Our sisters are there teaching in the school, you know. But his school, for example, our sisters we are there, you know, during the bombardment in the hospital there. So because our sisters also work in the diocesan and actually diocesan hospitals and the schools, not only our own. So in archdiocese, in dioceses, we also participate with the church and collaborate with the members of the church in doing the apostolate of the church, majorly also. So in those areas where you have, but now the whole insecurity has diffused into the areas wherever we are working, and we are there. We don't live, we are near to the people. Most of the time, we serve as, you know, gathering the children that are affected, you know, to give them some shelter, some support, either at a distance or even in our areas of work, because we also have a social aspect of our work where we care for women that have you know, unplanned pregnancies and all the rest. We have a big center for them. We help them, you know, carry, you know, get over to the whole shock and then deliver their children. Most of them, they take their children home at the end, and then we help them to go back to the society and live well. That's all. That's what we do. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. We also, in other parts of Africa, for example, we are in about 5 countries of Africa. We are in Nigeria, we are in Kenya, Ghana, and then Sierra Leone. Okay, we are in Zambia, we are in Cameroon. So we're also in Chad. That's where our mission.
Quite spread out.
Yeah, okay. And we are all Africans from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Kenya, from Uganda. These are members come from these areas, these African countries. That's it.
It's very beautiful and it's very encouraging for us here, where the church is a bit in in a poor state, in a way.
Yeah.
I'm German. The church there right now is not blooming.
Yeah.
It has a bit of a hard time. And then we look at Africa and we see the church. And we see these strong women that are really capable, even in situations where there's Boko Haram around.
Yes.
They're faithfully and courageously, they just love the people. And I think it's an incredible testimony for peace also.
Yes, yes.
We had the rector of a seminary from Nigeria who visited with us in Vienna, and he said all his neighbors are Muslim, but he said they give a strong testimony for peace just because they're there and they stay and they try to live a good neighborly life.
Yes. For example, the schools where we manage, whether our schools or the assistant schools, we have Muslims, all kinds of people, because we don't have boundaries. The same thing in our hospitals. Every denomination, every ethnic group, every nation is being attended equally. And that's what our apostolate is. So
it must be a really strong statement if everywhere people are segregated into ethnicities or religions. You're Muslim, you're Christian, and in your hospital, everybody is served. Everybody is the same. That we treat everybody as a person, you know, and respect, give the person the dignity that God has accorded the person as a God's creature. So sometimes you don't know who is Muslim except by dressing or something like that, and you do your work. You know, what is important that you attend to this person who is in need, and that's what we do. And can you see the fruits of that? People realizing that your great work of charity really brings different people closer together? Of course, yes. Because in the schools where we have, you know, sometimes it is difficult because of the financial aspect in order to incorporate people who need to come to the sisters' school, you know. Because there, at the end of it, as the things stand in Nigeria, if they come there, they get the formation they need as citizens of the country, you know, and without any discrimination. So sometimes we have even the difficulty to take all that. And the same thing in the hospital, you know. So when everything is being done, they come, even if there is a strike, even if the doctors are not working, they know that when they come to their hospital, that we are there always. They can be attended to. And that's the beauty of it. And they see it as, you know, the witnessing to Christ through the church, because the work we are doing is the work of the church. That's it, yeah. And I saw pictures of your hospital, the new hospital. It's on stilts. Yes. Stelzen. On stilts, because there's a lot of floodings or it's close to river. Yeah. And was it your idea of the sisters? How did you come up with that? And does it work now? Actually, you see, because our father founder said, make them rural women. That is, we get to the rural areas. Yes. So the island where this hospital is situated, our father founder, as far back, even before founding us, you know, got there with the sisters he came to mission with to this island in search of souls. So he started that mission in that place because it's an interior place, you know, not to the city. Yeah. So that's what we care. And the Immaculate Heart Sisters, they have been there for about 45 years, ministering to those people. They need help because the place is, the government they like the government support, you know, because it's somehow inaccessible because of this, until a great man, Tito Obi, you know, constructed the road that led to that place. So now we can access the place. But at the same time, it's an island surrounded by 2 rivers, you know, 3 rivers, one Niger and one Benue. And they are coming from different places. So anytime there is this climatic change and the water table has risen, so nowadays every time it is flooded. Sometimes it's not the normal flood because it is around the sea and the rivers. There is that yearly rise of water that is normal. But this time around, because it will have some dams, you know, around these rivers that have become weak. So when they open the dams, and that's when you see the upsurge of the river, of the water that comes up. That's in a very unprepared way. So that is what we are witnessing this year. But with the new hospital now, with the mission support,
we have been able to, because the hospital was there before, because of the repeated floods about 5 times, the whole hospital collapsed. So with the misuse support, miraculously, we were able to make the re-foundation and raise above the distance, so that the highest flood so far in the history of Nigeria was that 2010-2, exactly as we finished roofing.
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you. And it's
the hospital was just finished, and then you had the highest flood ever.
Highest flood, and it sounded like a Noah's Ark. So because the whole villagers just pitched on the misuse foundation that was very high. So it was really God saving, and a lot of people benefited from that. I think you have the pictures. Say, okay, so the flood was just high, but our decking and the upstairs where the people came up was just about 2 feet still above the flood, but it was the highest so far. So
I really like that story, because you could just say, oh, this is a difficult region, we can't have a hospital here, it doesn't work, it has been flooded. But what you do is you say, okay, this region is difficult, we have to come up with something new, and then you build a hospital on stilts, and it's ready just the right time.
So me, as a doctor working in that area, I knew the need, because I knew what women, especially the obstetric emergencies and the children's emergencies, For example, a woman in labor that has an obstetric complication, for example, needs a cesarean section or has a ectopic pregnancy. Before you take this lady across the rivers to access the hospital, the person will be a dead one. So this hospital is serving now to attend to these cases because it is close to them. It's just beautiful. And then take, for example, a child that is having malaria, convulsion, diarrhea. Then you have to take the child away to this. Before you get to across the rivers, the child. But now this hospital is serving for these purposes. We could do not open heart surgery, no, but we could do the appendectomy, do the cesarean section, do the hernia, all those complications and emergencies. We could do that in the hospital. Our problem now is to get the hospital quite equipped for this. The obstetric session, the children's session, the theater. That's when we get them equipped, we wouldn't need to carry people along to go and search for this. So that is the beauty of the hospital. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Now we know why your name is Sapientiae, because God's wisdom is not making things easy in a way that the world would say, let's go somewhere else and build a hospital where it's easier, but it's going where the people need it and coming up with ingenious solutions to difficult problems, and then really spreading God's love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm grateful for that.
God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Abonnieren Sie unseren YouTube-Kanal und bleiben Sie mit uns verbunden.